watchers, welcome back to Faith, Family, and Fun Reviews. If you're new here on this channel, I share with you delightful, family-friendly, and faith-based movies and television shows. Y'all, welcome back to our double feature. As promised, because you all didn't get a video from me yesterday, I did decide with the Lord's help to make sure you all get 2 videos today. So if you miss this morning's this morning's video, please make sure you stroll back to that video history and go ahead and check that out. And here we are meeting for this evening for our second feature tonight. So yes, this is a very, very challenging, difficult film here. And y'all might be like, well, why you gonna put yourself through that, girl? Because this is what I do. This is what I do, okay? It's a purpose. This is my purpose. This is, well, part of my purpose. This is why I'm here, at least on this channel. I got to bring to y'all all kind of different films in that faith-based genre, inspirational, even stuff that can be tough, which is what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into all of that, how are y'all doing? How is your evening going? Or if you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, wherever you're watching this, how are you doing today? What are you up to? Do you have any special plans? Have you been to the theater? And if not, what are you streaming? Okay, I need to know. Are you watching, you're binge watching any TV shows? Have you watched a film that really did something for you, inspired you, encouraged you, and you're like, beloved girl, you have to check this out. If you have come across a film like that, please let me know in the comment section below so I can check it out. Don't leave me hanging. Don't leave me out, okay? I want to be just encouraged. I want to be laughing and everything else with y'all, all right? I'm just saying, okay? But yeah, y'all, I'm very, very excited, as you can tell, to be spending this time with y'all. Like I usually say, it is an honor and a blessing, okay, to be hanging out with y'all. I so enjoy it. This puts me always in a good mood. If there ever is a time that I come on here and I'm just not really feeling it, I'm not in that place, once I start hanging out with y'all and we start talking all this good stuff, I'm back up there. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm ready to get to the next thing, and let's go. Let's go. That is usually where I am. But yes, I did have a chance to make it out to the theater this weekend. I actually went to the movies yesterday and it was really, really fun. I hadn't been to the movies. Let me see. If it wasn't like a month, it was coming up on a month. That's how long it has been. And let me tell you, I be feeling it, okay? I do. Because I enjoy the movie experience, okay? I do. The smell of popcorn, hearing the pop. Y'all, I be excited. It's nothing like that experience of the theater. And yes, you could have a big widescreen television at home and different things, but it's the experience. It's all meeting up at that one place in this one moment of time that would never repeat itself, that would never be like another moment ever, that you're gathered together with total strangers or even with some people that you may know here and there, and you all are coming together for this one miraculous experience. It's nothing like it, y'all, okay? It's just something special about the theater. And I always felt that way since I was a little girl, which explains why I'm here with y'all. Certain things never change and never leave, okay? I am your movie girl, all right? I so enjoy it. I just do. It's just something special. It really is. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our special feature today, which is titled Truth and Treason. Now, y'all have to forgive me because the main character name here is German. And so I don't want to mess up his name, which I don't like mess up anybody's name. Forgive me, y'all, I really don't. So I'm just going to refer to him as a teen, which he is. He's only 17 years old here. I don't want to mess up no names, okay? So first, let me tell y'all what this film is about. A 16-year-old teen forms a resistant group with his friends after his Jewish friends' Nazis arrest. Their brave actions led them to trial in Nazi Germany's highest court. Now, Faith Watchers here, I've been waiting for this film to premiere at theaters all year. I did a movie trailer reaction in my video history. I'm not sure if I put it on private by now just because of copyright stuff. And that's really the only, let me say that too. If many of you have been wondering why I haven't been doing like movie trailer reactions, it's only because of copyright stuff. I just don't want my channel to get caught up in all that, especially since we're in a season now. I've been on YouTube for 2 years with this channel, and it's growing little by little, gradually. And I just don't want any issues with copyright stuff. And so that's the main reason I've been like refraining away from movie trailers or any kind of trailer reactions. Because of that, I just don't want to get caught up in that. So yeah, but I think I did put my trailer reactions to this film on private. So yes, it's not available for you to see at this time. But back many months ago, I did do a trailer reaction to it. I did have it available for your viewing to let you know, to be prepared that it was coming this October, and here we are, and now it's playing at your local theaters. So I want to encourage you all to get out there and watch it with your church, your family, your friends, your loved ones. If you want to go in groups and all of that, this is the perfect film for that. Although I do have to warn you, if you are very sensitive to different things, because this is PG-13, which I don't really review a lot of PG-13 films on this channel for obvious reasons. But when it comes to inspirational, based off of true story films like this film is, and does have that faith-based element, there are going to be some hard images within the film that could possibly, you know, be a little bit touchy, definitely. So I want you to be prepared for that. There are a lot of different scenes that revolves around persecution and that type of thing, and we know how that go, that certain images are shown, even though they do refrain from a lot of different things that are very even harder than that, but they do kind of touch and show you a little bit of that persecution that is happening in this time. And this is the time when Hitler is ruling, around that time of that Holocaust period. So that just that alone, me saying that, will give you an idea that yes, this can be very tough, very hard, and very sensitive for many viewers out there, even myself. But I'm just that way where I'm like, no, certain stories, as hard as it may be, they need to be shared, they need to be told, and in our own way. We're doing that when we go watch the film. Like, yes, you're doing that, and you fill those movie seats up. You're letting them know, yes, we're here for it, even though it's challenging, even though it's hard. We want to see, we want to know the truth, and we want to spread the truth. So when you do like fill those seats, that's what you are letting the filmmakers and distributors and all the people behind this stuff know. Hey, let's go, we here, let's bring it, okay? So yeah, like I said, it's very challenging, and I was looking forward to it all year round. But this is about a teenager who stands up for what is right in a time where there were major consequences when you do stand up against, and you going against those who are in the higher ups, the higher authorities, the elites, or whatever you want to call them, when they put certain things in place into law, and for you to resist that. And even though it's non-violent, this teen was not violent. This teen was very humble, meek, gentle. Like, you couldn't even imagine him hurting anyone or anything. And yet he took so much just because he was willing to stand up for what is right. And once he was aware of the truth, he could not turn a blind eye to it. And I wish so deeply that so many of us in this time, the time that we're living in right now, would be on that same agenda, that same page, be willing to stand up for what is right. Once you know the truth, you cannot unknow it. And so many people, they unknow it in the sense of turning a blind eye to it. They're like, okay, if it's not my problem, if it's not at my doorstep, it's not affecting me, then life goes on. They ain't got nothing to do with me. And they move on, they walk away. And this teen could have done that. He could have had an amazing life, or what most people would call an amazing life. You could have graduated, went off to college, got married, had kids of your own, and all the things that the world says that's success. And he could have had that. But he chose, once he knew the truth, once he seen what happened to his Jewish friend, that he had to do something about it. He used his gift of writing, of words, to bring about awareness to what was hoping in Germany, hoping that enough people would stand up against what Hitler was doing and what he was trying to do and what he was doing at that time. And he had a lot of resistance from even his own father, which I know that had to break his heart when he was kicked out of his own home because of his dad. His mom was not aware of what was really going on. Of course, eventually she kind of knew what was happening when her son and his friends had to come before the highest court and had to be accounted for what they were doing, what they considered was treason. And of course, we know as believers, and hearing this little boy's story, and as you watching the film, you know, which I agree with, which was one of his last words, that he did nothing. He committed no crime, and he knew he was innocent in the eyes of God. And at the end of the day, he knew that mattered more than anything, that God is the final judge. He would get the final say so. And even if the world deems you a criminal, deems you unworthy of life, of citizenship, and a lot of things, like I said, was taken away from this kid. Even as he was jailed and incarcerated, he was even treated so cruelly to the point of being persecuted, even behind bars. And yet he did not open his mouth and sin against these grown people who you would think, if a child can stand up against what is wrong and stand up for what is right, why not an adult? I mean, come on now. This kid had even more to lose than an adult. He hadn't even begun to live his life yet. And yet he could not shut his mouth. He had to use his gift, the words of writing, to get the word out, to bring awareness to the people. And yet it ended in a very tragic way as far as what we may see from a human standpoint, from the natural eyes. But I can say, from looking at it from everlasting, from the eternal eyes of God, that he lived a life way more lived than many of us would ever see, than many of us would ever even know. And his story is worthy of talking about, is worthy of spreading, is worthy of making others aware of it, because not only we know that this happened a long time ago, it is a part of history, is a part of our history as human beings. We are connected regardless of whether we want to be or not, or whether we feel like it or not. We all share in this existence. We all know what it's like to feel pain, to feel regret, to feel disappointment, to feel fear. We feel that. We know what it's like at some point in our lives. We have experienced it, or we may be in that season now, or we may be about to walk into that season. However way you want to look at it, we all are connected. We all been created by God, and we all have a responsibility and a purpose here on this earth. And this little boy found his purpose. He stepped into that role at a very young age, and yes, like I said, it ended in the way that it ended, but here we are now, many, many years later, are talking about it, are being affected by it, and we are, in a sense, are repeating history. Yes, we are. It's not the Jews in the case right now, but there are a group of people, not a group, but groups of people based off the color of their skin, being persecuted, being ripped apart from their families, being, in a sense, tortured, are living in fear and all different things because of nothing at all. And are we going to turn a blind eye to it? Or are we going to stand up and do what is right and be moved by compassion like our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who loved and died and shed his blood on the cross for all people, regardless of whether your skin is light as snow or as dark as chocolate? Whatever the case may be, he shed his blood for us all. And what are we going to do about that right now? Because right now you are in a position of this precious little boy who was in this film, who decided in that moment that regardless of the consequences, I am going to believe, I'm going to trust God, I'm going to stand up for what is right, I'm going to walk in love, and I'm going to love everyone. And I'm going to speak the truth. And you can do that right now in the time that we're living in, or we are doomed to allow history to repeat itself. Because whether we know it or not, whether you know it or not, or believe it or not, we are in a time right now where there are people who are higher ups, who are considered maybe elites in your mind, who are in position of power, who can make a change, for the best of all people. And for whatever reason, that is not happening. And are you going to be on board with that, or are you going to do like this precious little boy did in this film and say, I'm going to follow Christ. Christ is my judge. Christ is why I'm living. I'm going to love everyone regardless of the color of their skin. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to persecution, to injustice, because that person may not look like me or talk like me or act like me. What are you going to do? Or is it Christ first, or is it your personal feelings first? And this is that question that comes up in this film. Like I said, it's remarkable, it's breathtaking. It will leave you with that courage to do what is right, to stand up for injustice, to stand up for all people. I enjoyed this film. I walked away with so much, and I want to encourage you all to make it out to that theater. Fill them seats. Take your family, your friends, your loved ones. Educate yourselves. Educate your family and your friends by allowing them to see this film, and then y'all walk this 17-year-old boy here. Go along this journey. See the world through his eyes for just this hour and whatever amount of minutes. I don't even remember how long the film is, but it is definitely a journey, and you're gonna be reminded, like, hey, this wasn't that long ago, but it's a lot closer than what we think. And for many of us, it's right at our doorstep. And for those of us who it's not right there, trust me, it's going to be at some point. You're going to have to stand up for what is right and for what is true. So that's all I have to say about this film. Once again, this film is titled Truth and Treason, playing right now at your local theaters. Get out there and watch it and let me know what you think about it, all right? But before I leave y'all for the day, we're going to go ahead and get into the scripture. And we're coming out of John chapter 13, verse 35. And it reads, by this all will know that you are my disciples. And this is Jesus speaking to us, letting you know. You want to know if a person is really of God, if a person is really Jesus' disciples? This is what he has to say. This will let you know who is who. If you have love for one another. So that's all I have for y'all for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. And until next time, may the Lord bless, keep you both now and forevermore.